The bandwidth for this episode of Fat2Fit HQ is sponsored by the Firearms Radio Network, firearmsradio.tv.
I don't have to edit the video, right?
Well, now that we're live, you do. Okay, here we go.
No.
Welcome to the Fat2Fit HQ podcast. I'm your co-host, Jake Challand, with the real host, Carol Salva of the Firearms Radio Network. In this podcast, we are chronicling our journeys from fat to fit, and we will be talking about pursuing a healthier lifestyle, and not only in diet, but all areas of life. And I paused there because my journey of fat to fit has been back and forth again. So
You're doing like me, the fat to fit, and then, you know.
Well, Carol, you've always been fit. Don't even start.
You're so nice. You're so nice. But that's why I wanted you to read the intro, because, you know, a lot people don't realize that many years ago I lost some weight, and it was a struggle, and it was a beat down to try to keep it off. And I remember the day that I was walking, trying to get motivation, and I found the show. And you and Zach, I'm so nostalgic for you to be on the show, Jake.
Yeah, and all your current listeners are like, what is she even talking about?
Who is that guy? Who is he? No, really, there are people like Jeff Fry and Kristen, there are people who are just like, oh my God, Jake is back. It was so great. It really made a huge difference for me because your show was funny and not a beatdown, and it made everything better. And so
it was funny because you were laughing at how I and Zach were doing everything wrong. So.
That's what was the greatness of the show. You weren't preachy. You were like, somebody tell us how to do that.
Okay, we're here to talk Tough Mudder, right?
Yes, let me introduce people. Or you guys introduce yourselves. Jake, introduce yourself, please, and then we'll go down the line.
So, well, the proper way to run a show, Carol, would be to introduce your guests, but okay, we can do it this way. So, yeah, Zach Carlson and I started the show, what, two years ago? 2.5 years ago? Something like that.
Okay.
Been a while, hasn't it?
Yes, I think it's 3 years ago, but go ahead.
3 years ago? Wow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know.
That's forever ago.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we started this. We were both feeling kind of fat, wanted to get fit, so that's where the name came from. And we were just winging it, basically, seeing what looking into the paleo side of things, and that's what we really got going on. And then Carol came on board because we started to not put shows out as often as we should. And,
I was like, what the heck, man?
And then Zach and I said, heck, we're happy being fat. Carol, you take the show over, and yeah.
Is that exactly how it went? We were 3 co-hosts for quite a while.
That's right. Yeah, we did all 3 do it for quite a while. So, yeah, we...
I'm going to keep moving.
I don't know where I'm going with this. So yeah, I've been hardcore, pretty much paleo for a time, but now I'm back to like just kind of sort of paleo, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay.
But I'm getting back there. I still always shy away from wheat and stuff like that. So that's stuck with me long term. And the wife and I have just started a new morning workout routine. So that's exciting.
That is. Say hello to Jenny for us, and just tell her a big hello and a big hug.
Will do.
Okay. Yes, May 17th, 2012 was the first episode, just for folks. And if you want to go listen to it, it's on the website, and it's greatness.
But yeah, Carol, you've blown me away where you've taken the show. You have all these giant names in the nutrition and paleo world and fitness world on the show, and Zach and I would have never taken the show to that level. So you've more than impressed me.
Oh my God, Jake.
Well done.
Thank you for saying that. But that's so not true. I appreciate it. But you guys introduced me to Roger Dickerman, who, oh my God, from Relentless Roger and the Caveman Doctor, and we, that was the show that I was listening to that really changed everything for me. Y'all were having some big names. It was always good. But thank you for saying that. And we're gonna have to have you come back on and have a walk down memory lane show. because you lied to everybody. When you left, you said you were going to come back periodically, and this is it. Like, here you are 3 years later.
Periodically, once a year, once every 2 years.
That's about right.
Yeah, that works.
Okay, let's go. Thank you, though, for coming back. So, John, Hammer Jammer, you need no introduction, man. Everybody who's part of this community knows who you are. But tell folks, please, tell us a little bit about yourself real quick.
All right, well, I'm John H. Ellis Sr., heck of a guy and humble about it. I 22 years in the Army, did a lot of different things in there, but mostly I did forward tactical type air traffic control operations, where we basically in 2 hours time turn a cornfield into O'Hare and keep the traffic moving until they told us to go do it somewhere else. After I retired, I carried the mail in Savannah, Georgia for 10 years. And I didn't drive the mail, I carried the mail. I had one of my routes that I had for 5 years was an 11-mile walk every day.
Wow.
In Savannah, Georgia. So if you think heat, humidity, by 11 o'clock every day you're soaked to the bone. So, and it didn't matter if it was hot and wet, cold and wet, or whatever. Either way, you were going to be wet. And that's I thoroughly loved that job, and only stopped carrying the mail when a chance to go serve the troops in Iraq came up during our Operation Iraqi Freedom. I did recreation as a contractor in Iraq for 5 years. Took recreation operations further forward on the battlefield in an organized way than it's ever been done. People should know troops entertain themselves. The farthest forward foxhole, you got two troops in it. One of them's going to tell a joke to another one. They're going to find a way to exercise, and they're going to find a way to do stuff. But we took it out into the forward operating bases. For Vietnam vets, it would be like having a gym and a rec center at a fire base.
Nice.
Okay, and that's the idea being that was a PTSD mitigation strategy, and I just anecdotally can tell you that I think that paid some pretty big dividends, but the numbers wait to be seen. But I just tell you, we had the fact that guys could be in our fitness center, an 8,000 square foot tent that made Gold's Gyms look like a place grade school kids come to play, and you'd have 3 or 4 or 5 of them in there working out together, that just came in off a mission or just couldn't sleep. That it helped. I know that it helped because they were telling me that it helped.
I'm sure it did, John. Yeah. Thank you for everything you did for those guys and for our country. That's amazing.
And this, when I got back, I took a year off, and then I was blessed with the very first job. When I sat down in front of this computer that I'm looking at right now and started looking for a job, the very first job that popped up was recreation therapy at a VA hospital in Dublin, Georgia. And that's all I needed to hear. That's all I needed to see. I didn't look for any other jobs, and that was the one. And that's what I've been doing now. On June 6th, it'll be 5 years up in Dublin. So I get paid to do my hobbies with 300 of my best friends.
Fantastic. That's fantastic. You are a great American, and I am proud to be your friend. Thank you, John.
That's just the old soldier.
Well, that's great. That's great. Thank you, and thanks for doing the Tough Mudder with us. And
that was a bit more. I originally only planned to do Las Vegas. I came up to do Chicago for one reason, and that was because Mother's Day was the day after. My mom that's where I grew up, Chicago area. My mom still lives up there, and by going up and doing the Tough Mudder, I had a reason where I could go have lunch with my mom on Mother's Day.
This is sweet.
Right? She's 92. She was pretty pleased.
I bet.
So that was a good vehicle. All right.
Fantastic.
Yep.
Thank you, John, and happy Mother's Day to your mom again.
Oh, yeah.
Mike, I was really excited you could do it because I didn't know you well enough until that day, and now we're bonded for life. And all of
Indeed.
that. Talk to us. Tell our listeners about yourself.
Some would say scarred for life. But,
That could, Jake's scarred. That's because he made that mistake and said, "Oh yeah, I'll let you host a podcast for me."
Tell us about your show, the Reloading Podcast. Tell us about yourself.
Well, I've been reloading for quite a few years, and that's kind of a hobby of mine. And I actually started listening to Jake at episode 3. And
I'm so sorry.
Look how you
it's
sucked
okay.
us all
I'm
in.
over it. I've gotten therapy. And so he was putting out a call for a possible co-host, and at that point in time, and then he decided that he was looking to add a couple of podcasts, and so I talked to him back and forth, and then I came on episode 105 and did a co-host on Reloading for that, and then about 3 weeks later, we launched the Reloading podcast.
Nice.
And I've picked up a couple of cronies along the way, Jim Fleming and Jason Trumbo. So we basically, it's just 3 guys sitting around talking about reloading, and we record it and put it out on the air.
That's so great. I love being part of this network. There's so many different personalities, and you can get very specific about what you want to hear about. Jake, which shows are you still hosting specifically yourself?
Well, currently I only host This Week in Guns. I had brought Ryan Machad from Handgun Radio in to take over Gun Guy Radio until my job transition, but that came a little early, so I transitioned on my day job, and he's continuing to do Gun Guy Radio here for a period of time while I get things squared away. But yeah, This Week in Guns, it's latest 7 days in firearms news that we record live every Thursday night.
It's awesome. I heard y'all talking about the Tough Mudder there the other day, but I'm sorry, go ahead. It was good.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, they gave you a hard time.
Yeah, they did.
I don't know if it's podcast hosting or babysitting, depending on the show and the guests.
Right.
No, that's great. Thank you, guys. I'm going to put links in the show notes to these shows specifically to hear these guys, but anything, I mean, you can't go wrong just going to firearmsradio.tv because we have just several shows as something to suit your needs, and you end up being one of these folks like us that just subscribes to the network so that you get all of them. So we'll put all that in the show notes that will be at fat2fithq.com/124. Can you guys believe we're up to episode 124? It's amazing. But thanks for being part of it. And today, I know it's taken us a while to get here to the topic, but we want to talk about the Tough Mudder in Chicago. We had the good fortune to be able to do this together. We really wanted to create more buzz for this run in 2016. We have it on our calendar to see how many listeners can come out, kind of like the Las Vegas run, and people from the Chicagoland area in probably April, May 2016. That date's not out yet. But we had the opportunity to do one, the 4 of us, and so we did it just to kind of like a recon mission, just to see, for these guys to see what it was like so that they could get ready for the next one. So that's what I would love to do, unless you guys have a different idea. I just have some questions. If we can go down the line. And
sounds good.
First thing, Jake, is what was your overall impression, if you can just tell folks? There's a lot of people who lately who've seen our pictures and have said, oh, I could never do that. That's just, that's way over my head or whatever. Just give some feedback on your experience in a general sense.
Well, I think most everyone can do it, especially, I really see benefit running with a team. We towards the end, we ran into one lady that she was doing the whole thing by herself, and I wouldn't. I don't know, me personally, I don't know that I could see myself ever doing that, but yeah, doing it as a team, that it was really worth it, and I never saw so much mud. Wow, I've seen a lot of mud in my life, but I've never had to go through it.
Unbelievable. That me neither. This was my 6th one, and it was the muddiest one I've ever done.
Yeah, there was hundreds of yards
Mud mile was
of mud that they did not have as a obstacle. It was just there. It was just everything turned into mud.
It had been torrential rains for days before, and I was worried we were going to have to do the run in that rain because they're not going to cancel the race. It's just more fun. So it was a crazy amount of mud, deep pudding mud in a lot of places.
Yeah.
So you think folks can do it, huh, Jake?
Yeah, I think it's worth trying something like this if you've never done it, because it's pushes yourself it makes you realize where your limits lie. You know, so there's some stuff I knew I just couldn't do at this point.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and there's other stuff I found out that I could do that I didn't know for sure that I could do.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. And what about, were there any moments that you regretted being out there? I'm leading you. Go ahead.
You're leading me to what? When I almost drowned?
I don't know. I think we ought to keep it real. I think we ought to tell people that you almost drowned. It's a possibility.
Yeah,
people need to know what they're getting into.
Then I go home and I look up what's that obstacle called?
The
plank.
What did he say?
Yeah, let's walk the plank.
Yeah,
walk the
plank. So I look it up and I'm like, oh, nice. Some guy did die on this obstacle.
He did. That was really unfortunate. That happens. That just happens. I'm not going to speak for Tough Mudder. That was early on in their days, though, and I can tell you, I did the runs back then, and the amount of change out there and safety and precautions that are around that obstacle now and others, it's a totally different game. They totally upped their game. So explain, though, what happened to that guy was when he jumped in the water, somebody jumped right after him. They don't allow that anymore. You got to wait for the person to pop up and get out. And in muddy water, he didn't see him. And I think I'd have to go look it up, but I'm pretty sure that's how he snapped his neck or something like that.
So yeah, when I did that obstacle, so Carol, you and I jumped at the same time.
I know, like twins.
And then next to each other, yeah.
Okay.
So as soon as I was coming out of the dive, or whatever, you jump straight in, feet first, and as soon as I started coming out of that, starting to kick my legs, my right leg just completely cramped and locked up, and I couldn't move it. And yeah, immediately started having trouble getting back up, to the surface, getting back up in a swimming position. And luckily, you're right, Carol, they are very attentive to your needs there, because there was a guy in there helping me, before I was in that much trouble. So, So it was pretty cool, and he gave me a lifeguard tool thingy, float thingy, and then, but like my leg was just like I couldn't even move it, because I had to have him. He was trying to like yank me out of the pool thing, and I'm like, no, just give me a minute. I can't even move here, So
it was a very, very high dive and platform. And it was toward the end, we were gassed. Your muscles were already, it was cold. The water was cold. And then when you jump in, you don't have to dive, you can jump, but you go so far down that it takes so long to get back up to the surface that I could see where that would be super scary if you didn't have the use of your legs.
Well, and I didn't panic or anything. I was just focusing on, doing what I need to do, but it just wasn't working, So that, and I guess I'm kind of surprised I didn't panic, because I'm not I don't know, the most comfortable in deep water, I guess. I really hesitated even doing that, but yeah, I didn't have any I don't know. I had definitely had dreams that night, and had the next couple days had some fearful thoughts associated with it, but not when it happened.
Oh, okay, so we're here to please. I'm glad that it left you with such a lovely impression. Mike, you did that one too, right?
Yep.
How'd that go? Because you didn't jump with us. You were
No, I was right behind you, but then I was waiting for Jake to get out. So
good.
And then when I jumped in, I realized that one thing happens when you hit cold water. Your brain kind of goes, "Oh, get out, get out." So I was holding my nose at that time when I was jumping in until my feet hit the water, and then my brain said, "No, let go of the nose and start paddling." So I got water up in my nose. Yeah, I had. As we're after that obstacle, as we were heading to the next one, all of a sudden I had a toothache from my teeth being sensitive to cold, and I'm like, "What?" So yeah, I got water up in my sinus cavities from that. So I would say if that's something you have an issue with, bring nose plugs.
Nose plugs.
Yeah.
That's good.
But I did kind of do a jackknife going in. I was going to do a full cannonball, but
That's awesome.
next time.
Next time is right. I'm so glad y'all are all signed up for next time. That's so great. Yeah, you came out like no big deal. You just, I mean, and it always freaks me out, that obstacle. And then awesome that Hammer Jammer was there holding my clothes, because it's so unfortunate that the only way that I will do water obstacles, my issue is hypothermia, and I got a touch of hypothermia in one run. It was just in Austin with the breezy. It was just a little cool, and so I can't walk around in really cold clothes. So I go down to the essentials, and it's such a bad look because it's only the stuff I'm willing to throw away. It's not like the cute little outfits that you see these girls in. It's just the old-timey mom workout clothes, underwear clothes. So anyway, Hammer was holding my shoes and my shirt and my stuff, and when he came to help Jake, and all my stuff went in the mud.
Well, yeah, I probably shouldn't add to that story there. I turned around. I was holding Carol's stuff because with my knees, I wasn't doing that one.
No.
Okay, I was reconning that. All right, so we're in this goopy mud, sand that is pudding mud that's about 4 or 5 inches deep at the end of that obstacle. And Jake comes up, and when his head broke the water, everybody knew Jake was in trouble. The lifeguard started moving, and I automatically turned. I did a pivot and took a step forward, and I did a face plant into that mud.
Fell? I didn't know you fell.
Yeah. I hit that, and that's where all your stuff. It was. I was holding it with my arm like this, and boom! When I hit that mud, it was done.
That's hilarious.
It was all gone.
It was really funny.
When you come out, they were just helping me up, and I said, "Sorry, I had one job." Sorry.
I had one job, and I screwed it up. It was totally fine. There's just no big deal.
But I would say that that's a good note for future gun runners, though. Is you got that system down, and whether you tend to hypothermia or not, layering up like that is a good idea. Is a very good idea. That's
the thing. I'm layered, so I've got something on, but I don't want. Yeah. I needed the outer layers not to be so cold, so I didn't mind the mud all over them, even though it was like there were lots of mud on them. It was that I didn't want them in that cold water, especially Arctic enema. I can't. Yeah. I learned that getting your shoes icy and your socks icy is a really bad idea for me, but I don't want to skip that obstacle. So Hammer, let's start with you on Arctic enema. Yeah. For people that don't know, that's just like a big.
Yeah, that's a 10-foot, a 10-foot slide into a 10-foot wide by 40-foot long, 4-foot deep bucket of ice water.
Right, big garbage dumpster
with
full of
ice. 4-foot
water.
wall in the middle that you got to get over. So. Yeah, I hit that one, and the leg cramp thing hit me in my left leg, okay? But you still got all that distance to go. But you could stand up, so I said, well, move it out, shake it out, it'll come out, Hit that obstacle, and my legs were already numb, so there wasn't any jumping over the obstacle. It was just sort of draping over it and doing another cold plunge. Come up out of that one, right? And I got to the end, and then these two gals behind me, they were having more trouble than I was. So I waited and helped a couple of them out. By then, there's nothing going on below my waist. There's no feeling, no nothing. After that, helping a couple extra ones out. But I ended up turning backwards into one of the corners and doing a reverse dip, sort of got a leg up and sort of rolled out. After that, once I got a leg up on the ledge, then I could use the leverage and get myself rolling out of the obstacle. But that was that's one of their signature obstacles. I don't think I could go there and not do that one. You know, that was pretty cool. But the one that got me was the one before that mud mile. Man, that mile of that deep mud, that was, and I made a number of tactical errors. You know,
tell us about that, John. Tell us about what you learned in that mud mile.
Well, one is, you know, with my knees, with the instability in my knees, usually for long walks, I wear knee braces. Okay, but what knee braces do is they protect you laterally, but they restrict the vertical movement of your knees, so you can't pick your feet up. Okay, you know, maybe an inch, maybe 2 inches off the ground, if that far. And especially, you know, when you're moving it through mud, I doubt that I got them even an inch off the ground. And that, down in that goop, you know, there's roots and there's stones and there's just all kinds of things down there, and that makes traversing that mile with those braces on. We were about halfway through that mud mile when I pulled them off, threw them in the weeds. That I can't keep going with these, you know. And the other one was I wore hospital scrubs as a top cover, and that added to restricting the motion as well. So you were much better prepared, you know, than I was with your motor dress, you know, with the bicycle shorts, and you guys with your, you know, workout trunks and what have you. But I think I would still stick with my compression socks and my compression pants and what have you, because there's no restriction there. For me to do much more than 5 or 6 miles with my arthritis, those compression socks make a big difference. But I'm also at the point where I got to have some better scissors when I'm done, because I don't have the range of motion to take them off when I get done. There's certain things that you just got to cut them off. Okay, and that's the price of playing the game. Okay, so I used the kitchen scissors in my hotel room to cut off my shoes and cut off my socks. You know? But that took a long time. I didn't actually get a shower until it was almost 10:30, 11 o'clock by the time I got in the shower.
Wow.
Because it took so long trying to get all that stuff off. You know, so.
Well, we learned a lot.
That's me with no knees. I mean, oh yeah.
I can't. Yeah. I think for Las Vegas, maybe taking a look at the map would be a good idea.
Yeah, but that might be wise, especially since we're going to have, you know, Arturo and Heron out there with the on-course nutrition bag, and for me, they can be the on-course drugs. Okay.
Well,
like Advil and stuff like that. The anti-inflammatories.
Because the problem was we got we got into that mud mile and there was no getting out of it, because you couldn't walk the sides of it. It was swamp.
Right.
And you couldn't turn back. We'd already gone too far, and you didn't know how far it was.
Yeah. But it does bring up the point, though, okay, that this is a team event, okay, that I would not be sitting in this chair today, okay, if Jake and Mike and Carol and probably 30 or 40 other unnamed Tough Mudders, okay, hadn't helped get me through that mile, okay. I mean, and by the end of it, it was just the 4 of us, and we kind of had the system down, okay. But, I mean, getting through that mile, and that's one of the great things about the mud mile. You said the gal that was with us at the end had been doing it alone. You may cross the start line on your own, but, I mean, as and by the end of it, it was just the 4 of us, and we kind of had the system down, okay. But, I mean, getting through that mile, and that's one of the great things about the mud mile. You said the gal that was with us at the end had been doing it alone. Nobody, you may cross the start line on your own, but nobody's doing that whole thing alone.
No.
Okay, somebody's going to help you somewhere. You need help. People are there to help you. And me being 60, I had different times during that. People come up to me and ask me that question: how old are you? I'm 60. Man, you be jamming, guy, man. Glad to see you out here. Fun rolling.
You did. You made a lot of friends along the course. That's really nice.
Yeah. So that was pretty cool.
Well, and you were pretty inspiring. I want to ask Mike and Jake too. Well, there were many opportunities for us to take a shortcut, and
no, there was many times when Carol was like, "Come on, let's cut the course here."
Yeah.
I'm like, "What? Like this is how you've done so many Tough Mudders?"
I want you to see something, Jake Challand. Look, you're just jealous, okay? If you're watching on YouTube, I have many headbands in front of me, okay? I've earned the right to cut the course. No,
I think that's how it works.
That's exactly how it works. No, y'all wouldn't let me. I'm like, what the heck? Look, right there. Just step over this little rope. So
and then when we did cut the course, who did we miss? We missed Jen with the nutrition bag.
I do want to say thank you to Jen. What was that?
That's karma paying us back.
Yeah. Jennifer Young from Girls Like Guns too. She was our photographer and on-course nutrition person. She had all of our food and stuff like that in a backpack. And I mean, there was stuff along the way that Tough Mudder gives you, but we had all the stuff we wanted, and she was going to take pictures. And we did. Y'all let me cut one obstacle and a little tiny bit off the course because it was right after the mud mile, and it was more mud, and we were like, no, we finally got out of this. Let's just go right, keep going straight. Don't go down that hill. And that's where she was, apparently. And so she was there all day, and she didn't see us until the end. Sorry, Jen. I'm going to splice in some of her reflections into the show because she was so awesome. And she's going to do it with us in Vegas, though. Yeah. Mike, how come you didn't let me take any shortcuts? What's up with that?
Well, the whole entire idea was to try and do as much of the course as we could. So, the only place where we let you cut was more of the mud and then underneath the bridge. And at that point in time, we just jetted off, and we're like, we don't really feel like going back in the creek right now. So,
yeah. Well, I mean, really, we don't have anything to prove out there, and I don't take that many shortcuts. It's just that you guys wouldn't let me take one. So then every time I saw one, I was like, this one? No. So I don't always take shortcuts. But I'm not above that. Like if somebody was really hurt or their knees were really hurting or shin splints or something like that, there's all different ways to challenge yourself out there. You could do a lot of obstacles and only do 8 miles. I say you still earn that headband. I mean, there's plenty. You're just there to challenge yourself and see how much you can do with your team, basically.
I mean, just getting out there is, that right
just
there.
Just getting to the starting line.
Yeah, getting off the couch or the bar stool or, whatever, and getting out there, making the commitment to do it in the first place is a big challenge. And just to make it to the start line, you got to get over that wall.
Yeah, there's an obstacle just to start the run.
So
that was fantastic. We're kind of coming up on time here pretty soon, but I just wanted, what, we never even explained. There might be people tuning in for the first time that don't know what a Tough Mudder is. So does somebody want to kind of explain what?
Sure, I will. It's a 10-mile obstacle course that generally has a challenging obstacle about every mile.
Military style.
Throughout the course. Yeah. Some of them sort of military style.
That's how they build themselves.
Military team.
Yeah.
Yeah. But they're interesting challenges. Every single obstacle has a different way to challenge you. Okay? And they all involve, at some point, to some degree, mud. Okay? You're either going to crawl through it or climb over it, okay? And there's going to be mud, there's going to be water, and it's going to be cold water. Okay?
And there's going to be laughter.
Absolutely. Loads of it. if you can't laugh at yourself, no problem. Everybody else will be laughing at you. Okay? You're gonna hear laughter either way. So
thank you, John. You were so perfect on our team. You had obviously led troops before or been part of things like this, so it was so great to do it with you, and I can't wait to do Vegas. I'm going to ask Mike real quick too, because I didn't get much reflection from you, Mike. Is there anything you would do differently? Because you are doing next year, correct?
Yeah.
Right.
Well, going into this, originally it was just one of those bucket list things. Okay, I'll do it once and then cross it off. Well, the week before, I got a pinched nerve in my lower back. So that kind of made things a little more challenging. There was some question on there was some question in my wife's mind of whether I should have gone in the first place at all. And I said, no, I'm doing it. I made the commitment, I'm doing it. I'll just do what I can. As a result, it still wasn't completely better, so I didn't get to do any of the crawling obstacles. And after the first one, I was kind of like, okay, but after the second or third crawling obstacle that I missed, I'm like, no, it just grated on me, and I'm like, no, I got to do this next year. So before we were even through the mile of mud, really, I had already started thinking I was doing this again next year. And then, as the obstacles kept coming that I couldn't do, not that I couldn't physically try them, but the fact that if I would have tried to do them, I'd have caused more damage to myself to begin with, which was kind of counterproductive to being out there in the first place.
Right.
That's kind of one of the things they tell you at the beginning, and even in the warm-ups, is don't put yourself in a dangerous situation where you're going to cause injury to yourself. That's not what this is about. This is about personal challenge. It's about trying to do what you can, but doing it, well, relatively safely, and that's one of those things that as you go along, that's why there's, they've gotten better, like you said, they've gotten better in their safety programs and stuff, and so, there's a lot of stuff that I wanted to do that I couldn't, and so that's definitely that's the main motivation why I want to go back.
That's so great, and you have a whole year to get ready.
Yep.
Yeah, I only got 5 months. So.
Yeah, I'm gonna start working on that right now.
There you go.
Nice. People need to see YouTube so you can see Mike's workout plan he's got going on over there. No, we did. I'll link to an episode that we just did, 123, where Ben Greenfield, who does the Obstacle Dominator podcast and all things Ben Greenfield, Ben Greenfield Fitness, he's just an authority on everything. But he gave us a great idea of how to work out to just get kind of ready for these runs, and it's something that everybody can do, where you just lift heavy things, do as many rounds as you can, then run up and do some type of cardio, and then go back and lift heavy things.
I would add one thing to that, especially since we've got an audience that's over 30 getting on up there, and especially if you're over 50.
Speak for yourself.
Practice getting up and down off the ground. Do stuff that puts you on the ground and that you have to get up without assistance. Okay, that's we don't practice that enough. Okay, and that's a necessary, especially with the crawling obstacles. You need to be able to get yourself up off the ground. Okay, there will be people that will come and help you but it's extra time. You got to swim in the mud. Okay, so, but you'll feel much better if you're doing more to help yourself. Okay,
well,
and
thank you, John.
Less of a burden than when you can get yourself up out of that mud when you fall down, which you're going to fall down.
So that's just basic, make sure you can walk 10 miles, and you got a year to get up to that, and then make sure you can, if you want to partake in more obstacles, that you can get up and over things and under things. Go to a playground, go to your kids' playground and climb on things, play with your kids.
Just do the monkey bars.
Right.
If you're gonna pick one thing, work on doing the monkey bars, and then work on being able to do pull-ups.
Oh my God!
Right.
With your hands both ways on the bar. That's kind of the big thing that the obstacles I could do. That was my big failing is not enough upper body strength.
Yeah, I don't do that stuff, but that's good for people who really want to do the obstacles. No, I just don't. I have bad shoulders. If I had, and I want more upper body strength, and since I know that it's going to hurt me to work that kind of way, I would. If I didn't have these shoulder issues, that's the key to a lot of those obstacles. I know you're right, Mike. But since I'm not, then I try to focus on the crawling things, and definitely I'm not going to skip electric shocks. Definitely I'm not going to skip a high dive. You know, those kind of obstacles that I can climb. Like I can climb things, so I try to focus on those. I think that's not a bad idea, is to look at the course, look at the different types of obstacles, see what makes sense for you, and go like, that's my obstacle. That's what I'm going to try to change.
Yeah, Carol, you have a significant advantage over the three of us, is your power to weight ratio is much, much better than ours. Okay, that's
always some nice men that will
you are
help me
blessed.
get over things.
You are blessed. You are blessed with that. So that's there's a big difference, you know, between what you can, the climbing you can do and the climbing we can do.
Well,
okay.
that has nothing to do with getting through ropes of electric shock. So
no, you're right there. That's
or tear gas.
That's a crawling.
We did the
that's
tear
a crawling.
gas.
Yeah, well, that wasn't tear gas though.
I think it was. I want credit.
No, there was no tear gas there. Trust me, I know tear gas. I'm intimately familiar with tear gas.
I don't think they can lie about that. I don't think
there was no tear. There was no tear gas in that bubble.
Do not ruin this for other people. Do not. Stop it, John. You're gonna be They're gonna stop sponsoring. Jake, you went through the tear gas with me. We made it out alive.
Yeah.
It was like a smoke machine.
It was almost as strong as Vicks Vapor Rub.
Almost.
Yeah, it was retarded. But it was funny because people were freaking out in there.
Yeah.
People were. It was a head game thing.
Yeah.
It was not the strength of the tear gas. It was being in this enclosed space, crawling with all that smoke around you and not being able to get out right away. It was a freaky thing. But it smelled nice. It was kind of lovely. It's like a spa.
Definitely cleared out the nasal passages, you know.
Yeah, they need that after walk the plank for you, Mike.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
All right, we ought to wrap it up. But any closing thoughts? Anything you guys want to? Thank you, all three of you, and Jennifer Young. Thank you guys so much for doing it. It really it's very special for me. Do you guys want to say anything to listeners or any closing last words?
There's a couple people at my work that had been thinking about it, and now that they've seen me and seen that I've done it, they're like, oh, I got to go sign up for it. Because I'm not a small man by any stretch of the imagination, but like I said, I made the commitment, I got off the couch, and I went and did it. So that's the biggest challenge is making your mind up to go and do it. And then the second biggest challenge is not getting a headache from all those headbands you got on there, Carol.
I know, they're tight. I'm using like a facelift. You see? It's pulling back my finger. No, yeah, you're going to have another one. That's the cool thing. They really play on your ego because y'all all now have your headband, and that's such bragging rights. And I love, Mike, that you put it in your car on your window.
Rearview mirror.
Awesome, on your rearview mirror. But next time you do it, you'll get this one that says 2. You'll get this green one. And so, and so they're so smart because they know we want to brag. We know it's awesome. It's too much fun. I do want to show that these are the earrings that I wore.
Yeah.
These are the earrings that I wore, and I made it through. And the earrings, the little Texas boots, those made it through. You guys to think about it and give me some feedback on what I should wear for the next one. Anything else, Jake? You got anything?
Yeah, no, along the same lines as Mike's saying, get out there and do it. I mean, it's really worthwhile doing it with a team. And you guys listening, if you guys are in the Vegas area or willing to travel there, I encourage you to go travel there and do this next Tough Mudder with Carol and John here, and then Chicago a year from now. Chicagoland.
Absolutely. Yeah. We're going to have a blast. You are missing out if you're not doing it. Really. Yep. One quick plug for our Amazon affiliate link. Everybody shopping on Amazon, you could really help the show and really help the network in a little bitty bit of what you spend. It doesn't cost you a dime extra, but a little bitty bit of what you spend would help the show and help the network. So we really appreciate that. Go to Fat2FitHQ.com and you'll see our affiliate link there. And you just click through there and shop like you always would on Amazon. So please do that. We really don't have many announcements right now, except that we are doing a Paleo FX wrap-up show pretty soon. We've got challenges going on in the MyFitnessPal community. All of those links are in the show notes, so I really encourage you to come over. We are trying to put out more shows, at least one every other week, but you can connect with us every single day in that community, and all of that is at Fat2FitHQ.com/124, our today's show notes. Okay, you guys, thank you so much. You really made my day that I got to spend so much time with y'all. It was very special.
And it was a blast.
It was such a blast.
Very cool. Yeah.
Very, very cool. Okay, so if either of you two, Mike or Jake, can get to Vegas, we would hope to see you on October 17th. The Gun Runners. Look at this cool shirt. How can you not want to wear this shirt again? All of our shirts survived the run, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Everybody's got the cool together. So thank you, Ryan.
I got my Chicago shirt.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Give me so we can give Ryan a plug who did our shirts. Jake?
Ryan Cross, hunterofdesign.com. Hunterofdesign.com. Yeah,
Hunter of Design or Hunter Design?
Yeah, hunterofdesign.com.
Okay.
He does logos, websites. I mean, anything you need for your brand or business, he can do.
He's a master. I've got his shirt sitting here. I swear, I'm sending it to him. And so, Ryan, we really thank you because these are the coolest. These are the coolest shirts. Look at it. I'll put it on the show notes. I'll put that in. Come over and see us and like us on Facebook too and Twitter. Okay, bye guys. I guess we'll say goodbye. That's an alarm that we need to go. Thank you again.
All right. Thanks, Carol.
Bye-bye, Carol.
Bye. Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Next time.
Bye-bye. See ya.
The rest of this podcast is video that Jennifer and I took over the weekend in Chicago, and I'm not sure how well it comes across in audio only, but here you have it anyway. And thanks to everybody who sent us support that weekend, and we hope to see you guys in Las Vegas in October. All right, I'm at Midway. No, I'm at, I don't know where I am. I'm at Houston Hobby Airport. I didn't want to take time off work, so I took a 7:15 flight after work to get up to the Tough Mudder in Chicago. No problem, except that it's delayed, very delayed, and I'm not going to be getting into Midway until about midnight. Thank you, Jen from Girls Like Guns Too, for picking me up at midnight. And then we have to drive an hour and a half to Gray Lake, or Gray's Lake, whatever. It's way north of town and close to where we're doing the Tough Mudder tomorrow. So, yeah. I'm going to record us. Okay, we're leaving Midway Airport.
Hi.
You get
Oh, God.
Jen's driving. Thank you for coming to get me in the middle of the night. It's actually the morning, right?
Yeah, it's actually like 12. It's 12:24 in the a.m. So it's actually Saturday.
It's Saturday. It's the day of the run, and I just got in town.
And we have an hour and a half to drive.
We have an hour and a half to drive. I'm punchy, so I'm just repeating everything you say. We just met, sort of. But yeah.
We've met virtually.
Yeah. I'm in such a better mood now that I'm with you because I was so grouchy. I was not making my fitness fun. Not at all.
I'm glad I can perk your spirits.
Yes. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and drive an hour and a half to Gray's Lake, and then we're going to check into our postage stamp, which we call a hotel room. All right. Okay.
Bye.
Bye. I don't know if you know. Okay, she's getting parking.
Oh.
I feel sorry for the listeners because this is the show. I have no time to record a show. So this is the show. $12. I mean, of course it's $12. I owe you some money.
I don't know her.
Sorry.
I don't know her. Thank you.
Sorry, thank you.
Oh,
I was just trying to figure out how much I owe you.
You don't owe me anything.
Aww. Get Jen to pick you up from the airport, always.
No.
Here, I'm putting $12 right here in your dash.
No, you're not. You may take that back because we may never get where we're supposed to go.
You know what? If we just keep talking,
yeah,
it's an hour-and-a-half show to get us to Graceland.
Oh, good.
I think I'm going to distract you enough that we can't get out of O'Hare Airport. Midway. That makes it even harder to get out of O'Hare.
Yeah, yes, it does. Yeah.
All right, I guess I should stop recording. I'm just excited to get footage because I haven't recorded a show in forever. Okay, let's see you soon. Bye. Bye.
Good morning, everybody. It's Jen from, I think I'm Girls Like Guns too. I don't remember. I'm not doing videos, so, but I have a cool shirt.
Isn't she?
Gun Runners, Fat2Fit HQ, and there's Carol. Carol, wave hi.
Carol's not awake.
This is the crazy girl that's gonna do running through ice and water and mud and all that. And it's 60 degrees outside.
It's freezing. That's the only bad part about this Tough Mudder. It's the only thing that's going to make this Tough Mudder really tough. Is that it's cold outside. And so Nashville was our other, and Vegas is going to be our next one that Jen's doing with us. So you watched the Nashville one.
Yeah, and there was, I was a little disturbed by something that happened in that particular Tough Mudder.
There was a lot of disturbing stuff.
Well, the thing about, you never leave anyone behind. But yet you left someone behind.
We left a man behind, big time. Like, she got lost, and we didn't see her for the rest of the day. Oh, we can link to that show, because so many things were wrong and dangerous. Yeah. Really dangerous things happened, and people really had paramedics helping them. It was... Yeah, let's go do a Tough Mudder. Come on, what time is it?
You see why I'm not doing it. At least not this time. No, I'll wait to do it in Vegas where I'm, 3 hours by airplane away from home. Good move, Jen.
That's where I am right now. But...
Yeah, but you've done multiple, so...
To get one of these is so great. And I don't care if you did have to shave off a half mile or you didn't do that obstacle because you have old lady shoulders like me. It's tough. It is tough to finish this thing. Even going... I'm sure there are some super elite athletes like Ben Greenfield that does every obstacle and kills it. But most people, you're going to find, most people are on a team where people are helping each other. Mm-hmm. And even your fit guys are like, you know what, I've done enough walls today. I'm going to skip this one. It's ridiculous. It gets ridiculous. So it's more just to have fun. And we're going to have fun.
Awesome.
That's guaranteed.
All right. Well, we're going to go. Well, there'll be more later. So
yeah,
with that, she's nuts.
I am.
Bye.
Bye. Look who's talking. Okay, we're finally heading out of... where are we? Grays Lake. Look at this cute little place. Look at this cute little place, and we are staying in her garage. We're staying in her garage. We're staying in an apartment.
It's not as creepy as it sounds.
It's not. It's nice. And it's super cute. I want to do something like that over my garage. Except she's made all the use out of the space, and so we keep bumping our head when we get too close to what we think is a wall. That's really an incline. But anyway.
Well, I do. Carol's shorter than I am.
Yeah,
so.
I don't have that much.
She doesn't have that problem.
So we've got about 40 minutes to get to Richmond, Illinois?
Richmond, yes.
Richmond, Illinois. This is a different kind of morning for me because while I'm supposed to be with someone freaking out, she's laughing at me because she's not having to do this run. And
I was the smart one.
And it's so cold, right, Jen?
No, actually, it's a wonderful 50 degrees here in North Illinois. So it is gorgeous weather. Other than it's cloudy, but I prefer this type of weather because I live in Illinois, and as you know, if you live in Illinois or anywhere north of the Ohio River,
the border, which she calls it, the Ohio River,
it gets very cold certain times of the year. So 50 degrees, loving it. Not so much.
It's freezing. so miserable. I mean, it's fine. It's cold. It's fine, cold. But after you swim in ice water, it's not fine anymore. I'm just saying.
Right, and that's why I choose not to swim in ice water.
No, actually, you've chosen. It's October 17th.
Yeah, but it's still probably going to be 100 in Vegas.
Praying for snow. All right.
Take it higher. There you go.
Right there?
Right there.
Okay, I'm going to come up because I want the end part to be on the top. Instead of underneath.
You're ready to go.
All right.
All right, let's get the backs of everybody.
There in the back half.
When you're going through, and we're it does suck your shoe off, but what we learned was if you do like where there's a long thing of my gym to go to, if you keep your toes up and do like a duck walk, as if we don't look ridiculous enough already. You're fine. You're fine. But we didn't lose our shoes then so much like that. I don't know why.
Trust me, when you were walking through the cup, you didn't want to lose your shoes. No. So you made sure you kept it on your feet.
Why are you not doing this with us? Not you, Jen. Watchers. And you, Jen. We're pulling into the parking. What do you think about it, Jen?
I think it's insane. Oh, and welcome to Wisconsin.
Yeah, we just drove over the border. But look at the parking. Oh, we should have done it when we were higher on the hill. But there's cars as far as the eye can see. And I think Jen was surprised how many people participate in such a silly event.
Yes, Jen is very surprised at the number of people that are participating in such a silly event. All right, what are we going to do about our parking?
We're going to try to get him free. We'll check back and let you know if we did. It worked!
Yay!
Even though they told us we had to print out our parking pass, we don't play by those rules. That's not how we roll.
She doesn't play by anybody's rules.
Like,
No, she doesn't.
And you want to say like we were all cool. We were like, hi, I have this like electronic thing and I know I'm supposed to print it out, but could you like let us in? And it worked. Hurrah, because parking is $20, FYI. $20 to park way the heck over here and walk with all of these people to get on a school bus to take you 8 miles down the road. That's what you get that's what you get to pay $20 to do. All right, so now we're parking.
All right, guys, you are ready to do the mutter.
We are.
What do you think?
I know, he's not ready, he said.
Some of us are used to this cold weather. Absolutely. All right, well, are you ready?
No, so cold.
All right, you guys got it.
Keep this side flowing. This is our fast lane. Get in there and move quickly on our left side. This is where we move quick. We got a lot of people coming. We got to get into that vehicle. Come on,
Was a wonderful day. Carol said it was cold because
freezing.
it was.
I use the word freezing.
I don't know if it got to 60. It was a little chilly. If you ever have thought about going and just watching a Tough Mudder, I'm going to tell you right now, don't. Because I had a great day today, but I missed so much. I missed being able to spend a lot more time with and the rest of the team, because there were other teammates.
We are talking to Heron and Arturo and people who want to come watch us. We love to have people come watch us. Come watch us. That's great. But don't think you can't do it. If you're going to walk that course and get in the mud and you have to be a spectator, just do the run with us. We walked. We did not run one step. We walked the entire thing. And, you know, we only did the obstacles that we wanted to challenge ourselves with, just like everybody else out there. We did a lot of stuff as a team, and you can do that with us.
It is. I watched. It's a total team effort. You know, you don't do the obstacles by yourself. You may start it, you may do it, but you'll end up helping your teammates. Your teammates will help you.
Here,
just text me.
I'll drop down. Okay.
I'll drop down.
No, I'll drop down. That way I'll look tall. I'll look shorter.
Or I'll look taller. Either way.
Exactly.
Okay, so we're recording because you know that I record.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, you record without telling anybody.
Right, because that's what people want.
That is so unfair.
I'm sorry, that's what people want. Okay.
Well, what people? I don't know any of those people.
The ones that talk to me in my head at night.
Oh, okay.
So we're done. We're at the airport. We're at Midway. Jen gave me a ride back, which is awesome. And I appreciate her so much. I want to thank Jen from Girls Like Guns too. I want to thank her for being our team manager because she got me there. She got us all. You know, she was the one that took those awesome team pictures that you saw. And she's basically there just to support the team and allow me to suck her into more things like this.
Except I wasn't there to support her for most of the race.
Stop it. It was fabulous and fantastic. And we appreciate her. And I really appreciate that I got to know her better this weekend. If you have not checked out Girls Like Guns 2, you need to, because this is somebody you need in your life.
Aww,
I appreciate you, Jen.
Aw, thanks, Carol.
Yeah, and so bye.
What we need, Carol. In fact, you can proclaim it now, Carol, through this host. Okay? It's that he that hath no stomach for this fight, let him depart. Let their passport be made, put a crown in their purse for safe passage home. I would not mud in that man's company who fears his fellowship to get dirty with us. Okay? He that muds with us this day and comes safe home will stand a tiptoe when this day is named and rouse them at the name of gun runners. Okay? He that shall live this day and see old age will yearly on this vigil feast his neighbor and his children and say, tomorrow is gun runners day. Then he will strip his sleeve and show his scars and say, these wounds I had on gun runners day, old men and women fought, forget, yet all shall be forgot. But they'll remember with advantages their feats they did that day. Then shall our names familiar in their mouths as household words. Carol the host, Jake and Mike and Hammer Jammer, okay, be in their flowing cups remembered. This story this good man shall teach his son, and gunner days shall ne'er go by. From this day to the ending of the world, we in it shall be remembered. We few, we happy few, we band of brothers. For he today that wears his mud with me shall be my brother. He'll never be so vile. This day shall gentle their condition, and gentlemen and women across the world now abed shall themselves think themselves accursed they were not here, and hold their man and womanhood's cheap when any speaks who were with us on Gun Runner Day.
Thank you, Hammer. That really was the most awesome speech, just walking into that challenge. It's not a race, it's a challenge. So that's going to be our tradition. In Las Vegas on October 17th, in Chicago next year, that's what we'll hear.
Yeah.
right before we start.
There you go. So,
Thank you.
Got it. Yeah.
Thanks for watching that video, but you should really come over and check out Fat2FitHQ.com. Getting healthy, staying healthy, does not need to be miserable. Sometimes you just need a friend to go along the journey with you. You'll find links to our Facebook page, our MyFitnessPal community, and a lot of ways that you can have company on this journey. Thanks again for watching. Go do something healthy. Bye.
This has been a production of the Firearms Radio Network. You can find more information at firearmsradio.tv.